forget. Getting everybody in. I'm excited to have so many people. And it's July. And we're having so many people. We had our amazing pop quarterly event that me and another director have been strategically planning and doing. And it was crazy. I think when we finished, we had 85 people on there
Oh my
on
goodness.
Zoom to do this event. It was so fun last night. And I always worry about Zoom because sometimes people are like, listen, I'm zoomed out. I'm ready to get together in person, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, Andrea Ford, you're gorgeous. That's a great picture. I wish I could.
Oh, thank you so much.
I wish I could take pictures
You
like
are too,
that.
lady. Glad to be here. Thank you.
That's fantastic. Here's my bestie, Rebecca Allen. We'll give everybody 1 minute and then we're going to start. If not, listen to the recording. I just want to be so punctual because I know you all are busy and some of you are legit on your lunch break. Oh, let me get these girls in. Okay, getting everybody in. Welcome, 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 everybody. We're so excited to have everyone. Let me turn my phone off. There's probably people trying to figure out how to get in. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start because one, I want to be so appreciative of everybody's time. And I know many of you are legit on your lunch hour. That's why we did this, right? And I was telling Lisa, I kind of feel like, you know, in our craziness of our lives, that this is like another pick me up to get us through into the week, into the weekend, because, you know, that's how goals are made and matched and all the great things are happening. So we have the amazing honor today. This lineup this month is insane. And I don't know, we just started doing this and it's taken off and people from all over like, I want to speak, I want to speak, I want to speak. And I'm like, okay, I'll get you a spot. This is powerful. And that's what I love about Mary Kay. Everyone's so go give, right? They just want to share and make sure that everyone's reaching their dream and that we're supporting the company the way it needs to be supported. So congratulations to everybody being on here. You've committed to your business and that's the first step. I want to tell you, Lisa Ann is she's a real deal. When I think about Mary Kay, I think about Lisa Ann. She is phenomenal. On my first top trip, she welcomed me with open arms and we were at the pool. We're just hanging out. I just love her. We happened to do a silent retreat together and you would think in silence you wouldn't connect, but that's not true. We were in the same house. I was like, we're not even talking, but we're all so connected. It's mind blowing to me. And if you've never done one of those, check that out.
That was my first silent retreat, by the way.
It was my first one too. And I was like, I didn't realize we were going in silence. So that was a little bit of, I was like, I think I picked it. Nope, this is not where I belong. I'm a talker. Me and Pam Keller are like, we're going to get kicked out in the first 30 minutes. But we didn't. We made it to the end of being silent. But it was amazing. And Lisa Ann, I just love you. I love how you represent this company. I love how you represent women. I love how no matter what, you lift them up. And we're so honored and privileged to have you on here tonight. I could go on forever about her accolades, but what you need to know is she has the most amazing heart for this company, for life, and for women. And that's what really matters. And so I'm going to mute myself. And I just want you to know I love you and I deeply appreciate you, friend.
Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, you guys, I'm so honored to do this. Jennifer, I'm just really honored that you would take the time to ask me and the way that you introduced me, because that's exactly what I'm talking about today. You all are very blessed if you're in her area or her unit to have such a godly leader. So you all are the very first people that are getting to hear how I put this together. When I was praying over a month or so ago, it just clicked in my head. God, like, downloaded this in my thoughts that all of the culture, all of the things that we learn about in Mary Kay are really biblically based. And I was like, okay, Lord, what does that mean? So for the last month, I've been researching this and praying over this. And so you guys are the very first people to hear this connection. So there's two things I want you to think about. One, have you ever heard somebody say you're the only Bible that somebody will ever read? Well, what does that mean? It means that you're going to be in homes and you're going to be talking to people who've never been in a church, who've never been around a family that's prayed. And then the other expression that I used to hear this all the time, you may be the only Mary Kay that somebody meets. Well, what does that mean? It means that they've never been exposed to Mary Kay culture. They have never been around a Mary Kay consultant. They've never tried this product. Well, what if you could marry the two with your business? You know, Mary Kay was a strong believing Christian. She belonged to a Baptist church in downtown Dallas. And so it really makes tremendous amount of sense that everything that we learn and do is scripturally, biblically based. And so that's kind of the topic that I want to share with you today. And so totally open to feedback. If anybody has a suggestion, I would love it. So these are true Mary Kay cultural references. And I want to share with you a little bit about how we use them in our business and really what you're living out, what scripture you're living out. So praise people to success. That is like a hallmark in Mary Kay, right? We encourage people. So Ephesians 4:32 says, be kind to everyone, tenderhearted, forgiving one another as God in Christ forgave you. Well, what happens when we praise and encourage somebody? You know, a lot of times when I'm in the grocery store or a retail environment and there's been a long line and a lot of crabby people, I'll even just say to the clerk, wow, you're so patient. You're doing such a good job today. I can't even tell you the difference in their countenance when they hear you say something like that. Well, we have the chance to do that with the hostess who's had a hairy day, whose kids have spilled everything and their husband is late and the appetizers have burned and the kitchen table's a mess, right? We have that opportunity to do that. She also taught us to sandwich every bit of criticism between two healthy layers of praise. So there's lots of references that you could give with each of these things. I'm just giving you kind of an overview because I want you to have the thought that you can marry these two concepts, that you can walk out the Mary Kay culture and live a biblically based life and really impact people. Sorry, there's like Amazon trucks that keep pulling up in front of my house. I apologize if you hear a doorbell. So 2 Timothy 3:16, scripture corrects us when we're wrong and teaches us what to do when we're right. So let me give you a couple examples of this sandwiching every bit of criticism between two healthy layers of praise. Oh, I see my unit member, Dottie Plummer. Hi, sweetheart. So let's say you have a hostess that you've got a party booked and she's invited a whopping one person. Your natural instinct is to say, you need to invite 20. If you invite 20, you'll have 12 say yes, and probably 6 to 8 will show up. But that is not a positive comment. So a way to sandwich it might be, wow, I'm so excited that you've started inviting people. I can't wait to meet your mom. May I offer a suggestion? What if we invited your sister, your neighbors, some coworkers, like maybe make a list of 10 to 12, probably half of that will be able to come. I know you're going to be a great hostess. And so you're correcting the behavior, but you're not tearing them down. How about you have a team member who comes in late and loud to a meeting? That ever happened to you? And so I'm so glad that you made the priority to come tonight. You know what, when you come in, if you're coming in late, you know what, you might consider just slipping in the back and popping in a seat in the back. I'm absolutely thrilled that you have prioritized being here. I know you're going to get so much out of it. That whole concept, so the scripture, Proverbs 27:17, as iron sharpens iron, so another person sharpens another person. We are called to do that, right? And so that sandwiching every bit of criticism between two healthy layers of praise. You guys, this works in your household. I have 2 adult daughters. I'm so proud of you remembering to bring your homework home. I realize it's not something that you want to do. I realize that you're, procrastinating and doing it, but I absolutely know you'll do a great job at it. You guys, there's so many ways that we can use this sandwiching every bit of criticism between two healthy layers of praise. So some of my favorite things that have been the most impactful to me in like my actual work of Mary Kay. One is the 6 most important things to-do list. That is something that I do every single night before I go to bed. I've used a multitude of calendars. They all work. You just have to pick one that you work. But for me, it's that prioritizing of what I really need to do the next day. National Sales Director Leah Laughlin calls them your small daily wins. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. The other concept, and guys, the first time I ever heard this phrase, I just thought this was the craziest thing. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Well, I'm very visual. So of course, my mind went to an elephant and a spoon. Is where my mind went. But that whole concept of eating one bite at a time, there's two scriptural things I want you to think about. One is Luke 14:28. If you were going to build a tower, there's a story about, would you not first sit down and count the cost? That's biblical. That's out of the New Testament. The other one is Matthew 7:24-27. This is the story about the person that built their house upon the rock. And when the trials and challenges came, the wind blew, the rock stood still. But the person who built their house upon the sand, their house blew down. Well, what does that have to do with your Mary Kay business and planning? So I really feel like there's some rocks of Mary Kay that are really important to live out, because remember, our goal is to enrich women's lives. So first we have to enrich our own in order to bless other people. So God, family, career, that's a rock. Praising people to success, that's a rock. Seeing the greatness inside of other people, that's a rock. And goal setting, I'm going to talk about that in a minute, having dreams, and time management, managing your time, looking efficiently about what you are doing. And so if we know that a rock of this business is your 6 most important things to do list, then it's worth eating that elephant one bite at a time. So it's July. It's July 22nd, in case you didn't know. And probably all of you on July 1 or July 2 set a big goal. If you're on here, I'm going to guess that you have a goal to earn a diamond ring, a diamond B, a car, build an offspring, hit your first trip, do a million. You have some kind of goal. And if your business is like my business, sometimes July is not the most exciting month that we have. Sometimes we don't see a whole lot on paper that is showing us that we're hitting that goal. And it's so easy by August 1 to give up on your goal. Now, maybe you're not like that. That has certainly happened to me a lot over the years. And so this is where those small daily wins come in. So what are some daily wins? Well, for me, one of them is to be, now I don't work a full-time job. This is my career, is to be up, showered, had my quiet time, exercised, and in my office by 10 in the morning. That's a small daily win. Another might be every day I'm going to talk to one customer. Another daily win might be I'm going to book some kind of an appointment today. These are small daily wins. A small daily win might be doing your 6 most important things list before you go to bed. But it's that eating an elephant one bite at a time, accomplishing one small daily win at a time. That is how you're going to create the rocks of your business, that foundation that's going to be strong. We build momentum in this business, and July is a momentum building month. So no matter what you've done, July 1 to July 21st, I want to challenge you that if you will think about the small daily wins, those rocks that you can do in your business today and through the end of the month, you are setting yourself up for momentum to get anywhere that you want to go. There's a seed of greatness inside every person. I love this. This is probably one of the most important things that I really feel like you and I are called, whether you are a brand new consultant, you're a national sales director, or you working at corporate staff, that we need to breathe belief into people. We need to help other people see how great they are inside. Every single one of us is made in the image of God. And so if we are breathing belief into somebody, then we're lifting them up, we're edifying them. So you guys think about it. So I'm watching The Chosen, which is great, by the way. If you haven't downloaded the app and started watching it, oh my gosh, it's so powerful. But it's such a good reminder that Jesus, in his inner circle, he had a former prostitute, he had a zealot, He had a tax collector. These were the most hated people in the Jewish culture. Yet these were the people that he brought close to him. These were the people that helped carry on what we know now as the New Testament and the faith that stands around the world. 1 Thessalonians 5:11. So encourage each other and build each other up just as you are already doing. You know, that's a big part of our culture, right? It's so much more though than the really cool earrings that you can earn in the month of July if you've not earned your earring yet. And this came in the mail yesterday, my consistency. But you guys, it's so much more than that. It's the ability to take another human being, whether it's a customer or a hostess or a consultant or a director or a national or a corporate staff person, and lifting them up, building them up. When was the last time you lifted up your Mary Kay sales director or your national and you shared the characteristics? Now, it's one thing to say, wow, I love your hair. That's so cute. But you guys, that does not lift another person up. When you walk into a hostess's home and I'm so excited we can like actually start doing this again. And I walk into a house, I look at the pictures on the wall and I look at a refrigerator and I look around the room. My goal before I set up a thing, before I talk to her about the party, is I want to help her see the greatness in her. So if her house is totally chaotic, there's toys everywhere, I will say something like, I bet you just love being a mom. You just seem like the kind of person, you're so involved in your kids' lives. They're so blessed to have you. If her house is neat as a pin, then I'll say, wow, you do an amazing job with organizing. I love how you prioritize the things in your life. It's so clear to me, standing in your home, what a great job that you do. You guys, that is so much more powerful than saying, you know, oh, you look so cute today, or I love your shoes, or I love your purse. Now, I still say those things. But this enriching women's lives, you guys, this happens with every person that we have the opportunity to interact with. You know, one of the things that we take for granted, I think, in Mary Kay are the people above us, the leadership above us, the people that support us. And that's your recruiter, your director, your national, corporate staff. Do these people really know and understand how much you value who they are? So for me, edification, that's just big fancy word I learned my first year in Mary Kay, it's that lifting up of somebody. And when you learn to, and I have my unit practice this, by the way, when you learn to edify somebody by the characteristics who they are, helping them see the God-given characteristics inside them, you are going to attract and bond people to you in a very different way. So I had a conversation with a customer who's been a hostess twice. We've done 2 facials. I've never met her face to face. It was a pandemic referral, but she was a referral because the person that referred to her fell in love with the product and referred Susan. Her name was Susan to me. And she works 2 different jobs. I'm so sorry. There's all this stuff happening outside my window. We had this conversation yesterday and I said to her, she's got a lot on her plate. Oh my gosh, I'm so busy. And I said, Susan, I'm so proud of what you do. As a teacher, you make such a difference in people's lives. You were so patient throughout the pandemic. You adjusted well, despite the chaos of trying to do it at home. You make a difference in these kids' lives that you tutor, and you're just such a positive influence on everybody in your life. You guys, she about teared up. And so whether she ever becomes a consultant, if she knows that I see those characteristics in her, I've had the opportunity to lift her up. Now, it also bonds her to me for a lifetime, right? Because who goes around and says that? Who says those kinds of things to you that lifts you up your characteristics? So I have a unit member right now who the whole family had COVID, only early 30s. Husband was in the hospital for 2 weeks, came home on oxygen. You guys, he's a young man. And she's done zip. Oh, actually, her recruiter's on right now. She's done zip with her business for months. I don't care. I check on her about every 7 to 10 days. How are you? how's your husband? What's going on? How can I pray for you? Because it's the right thing to do. I'm not even looking at what she is and is not doing, because one day her life will change. She knows that I love and believe in her for who she is. I care about her for who she is. And when her life changes, then she'll come back to it because she knows that her recruiter and her director are right there beside her. So there was a quote that I heard when I was a new consultant that actually kind of disturbed me the first time I heard it, until I really understood it. And it's, you can have anything in this world that you want if you want it badly enough and you're willing to pay the price. And I was like, pay the price? Oh my gosh, I'm not sacrificing my children. I'm not sacrificing my marriage. That's where my head went. Well, first of all, that is not what it means, but that's where my head went the first time I heard it. So what's the price? Well, time. It's an investment of time. Now we choose our time. We choose when we want to work. Like there were many times when my kids were growing up in the summers, and Sunday night they would want to go for ice cream, and I decided to stay home and work the phone, right? So time is one. Another is belief. I think that this is one of those things that is so easy to give up on when you don't see the numbers the way that you want to see the numbers. Our belief can waffle. And so paying the price is choosing to believe, even when you can't see any results yet, choosing to believe that this is where you're called, this is what you want to work towards, and you're willing to eat that elephant one bite at a time. Another is energy. So this is a skill that I've learned in Mary Kay, is I'm really good at self-care. I'm really good about making sure I get enough sleep and nutrition and exercise. I have time in my Bible every day. That's not how it was 29 years ago when I joined, for sure not. But that energy for my business comes from taking care of the physical needs, but also the boundaries that I have created, that I don't allow negative drama, gossip in my life. I change the subject or I leave a situation. And so that allows me to have the energy to pay the price in energy in order to get what I want. Commitment. We have to pay the price of commitment from a start to finish. I watched this unbelievable video the other day. I have no idea how long ago it was. Might be this year at the Olympic trials. I don't know. But anyway, it was a girl from, I want to say Sweden, who literally was ready to collapse at the end of a race and literally was falling. And two gals sacrificed their own finish in this race and were on either side of her, carrying her across the line. I don't know anything about this person, but what I can tell, what I would guess would be that she is a caring person. She's kind. People enjoy being in her space, and they didn't want to see her not be able to finish something important like that. There's a commitment that comes along in being with this business, that we do the right thing. And there's a price to pay for follow through. There has been many a year that my July was horrid, which we still have 9 days to fix that. And we had phenomenal finishes at the end of the year because there was a commitment from the beginning to the end, and paid the price of staying commitment regardless of what it looked like. Colossians 3:23, work willingly at whatever you do as though you're working for the Lord rather than for people. That's the expression of, I have an audience of one. I am not teaching this to please Jennifer or any of you. I actually want my Father in heaven to be happy with the words that I say. And so when I go into every goal or every party or anything that I'm doing, if I think about it in those terms, that I'm working for him and not for myself and not for other people, then he can use me. I can be a light. I can glorify him, and people get to see the character of who he is through me. And that's my prayer. Galatians 6:9 says, let us not grow weary of doing good, for in due season we will reap a harvest if we did not give up. Eat an elephant one bite at a time. So how do we enrich Reuben's lives? Well, we need to be in front of them, right? Whether it's virtual or whether it's in person, it does not matter. I will tell you my personal preference is Zoom versus Facebook, because there's no interaction on Facebook, right? They could be emptying the dishwasher, running around the house, driving in a car, and I have no idea if I'm impacting them. So I prefer Zoom to Facebook, my personal opinion. But we have to be in front of those people. And when we're in front of those people, we get to live out these characteristics. So you can walk out the Mary Kay culture and a biblically foundation culture, you can marry those concepts. And then when we impact people, we're enriching women's lives in such a more powerful way than just surface complimenting her, having great skin, introducing her to this opportunity. All of those things are great. But when we marry these two, oh my gosh, the difference we can make in people's lives. So that is my totally new aha about a month ago. God put these things together in my head. And that's what I have for you today.
Oh my gosh, I love that. We, one of my bestest friends in the whole world, Rebecca Allen's on here. And we just said, we don't care what happens. We're not going to worry about, because sometimes we get so caught up in, like you said, all the things that they matter, but shouldn't be our priority. And so I loved everything that you said, Lisa Ann, because I said, I don't know, pay it forward. We're just going to do something every day to make, if that's all I get done in my day is I feel full and I did something for somebody else, and I just know God's going to pay that back. So thank you so much. Because I think there's some things, as Mary Kay is no longer with us and so many nationals retire that were trained personally by her. I love that her traditions and their traditions are still being, oh my gosh, look at that picture. You know, I find value in that. And I think those kind of things, it doesn't matter how much you sell, how much you team build, all those things. It really comes down to who are you and what are you about? And that's what's going to get you there more than anything. So thank you so much for that. Does anybody else have any questions for Lisa Ann, or I don't know, maybe you want to affirm her or something that you took away? You'll have to unmute though. I'm sorry. And I don't have it blocked, so you can unmute yourself.
Well, I have goosebumps. That was amazing. And thank you for pouring into us today and just reminding us and what this business really is about and how we can couple those things together to really serve others, because that is what it is about, right? It's a vehicle to minister and serve others. So thank you so much for that and for backing it all by scripture. I would love, do you have a copy of that script somewhere?
Not really. You're the first. You guys are the first. I have like chicken scrawl on a piece of paper.
Well, you did a beautiful job. And, you know, I could feel the spirit. I love that, Lisa Ann. But yes, I would love those scriptures somewhere and what you said. I'm a visual person. I like to see it in writing. So I don't know if you would ever take the time to share that with us, but I think it's awesome.
Rebecca, Vox me. I'll get them to you.
Oh, thank you so much. Jenny finds the best people on here, and I love Jenny too. She's amazing. We are besties. We're having a great time together.
Probably too much fun sometimes. My husband tells me all the time, you two reel it in. You got to do a little bit of work too in all your fun.
We just are a walking party, and it looks like we're having fun. We really know what we're doing though, huh? We're strategic.
That's right. That's right. Does anybody else have anything they want to share with Lisa Ann, or a question you might have? I just want to make sure I don't forget anybody, because while you're here, $1 Million Sales Director is right at your fingertips. If you have a question for her, she knows how to do this.
Jennifer, I do have a couple of thoughts here. Lisa Ann, thank you so much for your sharing of this information. I actually took really good notes as far as with the references of scripture and the encouragement, and especially of encouraging others. And
would you please share it with Rebecca?
That'd be awesome.
How do you define as far as the difference between edifying someone and enriching someone? Are they one and the same, or is there a difference?
That's a good question. And I am not a pastor or pretend to play one on TV. So edifying is really helping people see the biblical characteristics of who they are. It's, you know, we're made in the image. So when we lift somebody up, are we helping them see God in them? Are we helping them see who Christ is in them? And so I think enriching women's lives can be very simple, helping somebody out, you know, financially. But I think edification is, again, Lisa Ann Harmon's opinion, is more about the character of who they are.
Okay.
Excellent question, by the way. I had to think about that.
Does anybody else have something they would like to share or affirm Lisa? Or I'll tell you, I just love today. I need it. I just always need to pick me up midweek, not necessarily from Mary Kay, but just from life sometimes.
Right.
It's a hot mess in our world. We just kind of have to, and that's what I'll tell you, success comes in a beautiful mess. It doesn't have to be perfect.
I know, right?
Hey,
Hey,
I'm talking result of that.
Deanne's on here and she got her new team member from last night. Isn't that exciting?
That is congratulations.
Yes. So see our
Thank
efforts are
you.
That's
way to go,
amazing.
Deanne. We're excited to have Terry in our Mary Kay family. She's beautiful and she's gonna do great.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm excited too.
Oh, look at you. Are you out there changing lives today, nursing, or are you home?
Well, I work from home. I travel a little bit with my job, but most of my job is an at-home job. So
Perfect. You can squeeze a little Mary Kay in there.
yes, I can.
Oh, it's good to see you again.
Thanks.
Ladies, we love you. If no one else has any questions for her, I don't want to keep you. I know some of you are on a lunch hour and you don't want to miss anything. So I just want to keep it in the time spot because Lisa Ann took out of her July to help us. So we appreciate you. We love you, my friend. I can't wait to see you. I can't wait for us all to gather in person at leadership. For the love of God, finally, I'm excited about that. So
Yay. Years it'll be.
I know. I'm like, I don't even know if you know what? Nothing will happen at those events, but everyone hugging and kissing. I think that's all that's going to happen for the first day.
I think they need to block out like an hour before it actually starts for us to do nothing but talk and catch up.
I know. I hope they do, because if not, that's all we're going to be doing anyway. So I love you all. I hope you have an amazing Thursday. You rock out these last 8 days of the month. Don't let anyone yuck on your wow. You are amazing. You're where you're supposed to be, and go make amazing things happen. Thank you, girls, for joining.
Thanks again for the honor.
Bye, gals.
Bye.